Even if the AYANEO Slide was the worst product ever, which it's not, I'd probably still love it because this is the cutest packaging that I think I have ever seen for anything ever. You slide a little VHS tape box out of a VHS tape sleeve, and inside you are getting one of the most unique handheld gaming PCs that we have seen yet. We're expecting performance to be about on par with devices like the Lenovo Legion Go and the Asus ROG Ally, since it's using a Ryzen 7 7840U, which is functionally the same as the Z1 Extreme, except it has some additional AI nonsense bolted onto it. But you are getting it in a form factor that might be a little bit on the thick boy side, but includes a full freaking physical keyboard. I mean, that's one of the biggest pain points when you're using anything other than a Steam Deck. Windows is just not designed to be used with joysticks and buttons. And boom, having access to a keyboard like that, combined with AYANEO's ISpace software, which has pretty good joy to mouse the last time that I touched it, should make it a lot easier to do things like enter a product key or log into your Microsoft account or just all that crap that you have to do with Windows. Let's have a look at accessories real quick. All black, just matte black, absolutely everything. Nice compact power brick. This bad boy will do up to 65 watts. Love to see it. Also love that it uses a detachable cable so that I'm not stuck with whatever length they happen to ship me. Oh, various region adapters for the wall wart. It looks like it comes with the North American one pre-installed, at least for me. This is cool though. I also get a couple of USB-C to USB-A dongles. This could either be useful, I guess, if I wanted to use a USB-A cable off of here. I probably wouldn't do that. Or if I wanted to convert either of the device's dual USB-C ports to a USB Type A. Let's pull these off so we can take a closer look. On the top, you're gonna find a fingerprint sensor power button, volume rocker, one USB-C port. This is USB 4, so might be able to use it with some Thunderbolt accessories, might not, your mileage may vary. We've got a total of, they really do feel really nice. 2 Hall effect triggers, 2 regular shoulder buttons, and then 2 additional L4, R4 buttons? I don't know, because this would be your 3s, and then normally 4 would be here, but it's not, it's here. They're pretty hard to reach without accidentally touching the shoulders, but if you have bigger hands, I could see using them for something, I guess. On the bottom, we've got another USB 4 port. I really like to have the option of having it either plugged in the bottom or the top, because if you're sitting, the bottom is great instead of having it hanging off the top and kind of dragging it down. But if you're lying in bed, having it come out the bottom is a great way to damage your cable. Down here, there's also a micro SD slot and a couple of stereo speakers. Kind of wish they were forward facing, but AYANEO's done some pretty good stuff with the audio on their devices in the past, so they might end up sounding pretty good. On the face, we've got very serviceable ABXY buttons, really nice compact form factor, especially considering how big some of these devices have gotten lately. Look at you, Legion Go. These joysticks, also Hall effect with RGB accent lighting, what feels immediately like a pretty serviceable D-pad, and then of course, your start select, whatever those are on an Xbox controller, an AYANEO space button, and a return to desktop button. The big star of the show is of course the display, and yes, that's right, you guys saw that. The 30 degrees of tilt that AYANEO is extremely proud of. Unlike previous similar devices that we've seen before, like the GPD Win 4, this is A, more powerful, and B, the first that we've seen that has a screen that tilts like this for, they claim, and honestly, I can't see any reason to doubt this, improved ergonomics. It means that I don't have to, here, you can't really see this because of the gorgeous dropout hoodie that I'm wearing, lttstore.com, but in order to be looking straight at the screen, I normally have to bend my wrist back at this angle. Instead, they do the wrist bending for you, keeping you aligned while you're sitting at a desk and resting your console on the surface of it. This is a problem. While the display reached a whopping 500 nits, that's 100 more than what they rate it for, and achieved pretty decent performance when it comes to color accuracy, it's 60 Hertz, which is a big disadvantage compared to the ROG Ally and the Steam Deck OLED, not to mention the Lenovo Legion Go, though I don't know how many people are buying that one. But it is not touchscreen.
After filming, we found out it's just our pre-production unit that doesn't have a touch screen. Retail units do, thank goodness.
Let's go ahead and fire up a game, shall we? Or talk about our sponsor. Step into 2024 with confidence, thanks to Manscaped and their Performance Package 5.0 Ultra. It includes the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra, so you can now mow your lawn, if you know what I mean. It includes their Weed Whacker 2.0 for your ears and nose, so it doesn't look like a kraken is trying to escape from up there. It includes their Crop Soother and Crop Preserver to keep your nether region smelling fresh, though it should be noted that no one at ShortCircuit or Linus Media Group or any of its affiliated companies recommends hurting yourself trying to check anything like that. But what you should check is the Performance Package 5.0 Ultra at manscaped.com/circuit and use code CIRCUIT to get 20% off, free shipping, and 2 free gifts. Holy crap, this fan moves air. I guess that's one of the advantages of having a thicker body is you can put, like I can feel this blowing air this friggin' far away from it. That looks like a gigantic cooler. Okay, I guess now's a good time for us to talk about the various performance modes that are available on this device, rather than just naming them after wattages. They've got AAA game mode, which runs at 23 watts, but we turned all the way up to 28 watts so we could see exactly how much it could do in our testing. They've got normal game mode, retro game mode, and office mode, which are 20 watts, 15 watts, and then 9 watts respectively. We are obviously in AAA game mode right now because A, this thing is consuming about 28 watts between the CPU and the GPU, and B, it is crushing Doom Eternal, despite being a little tiny handheld device. Oh, had a little bit of lag there. But what are we set to? Because I think that this is set to a very unreasonable level of detail right now. This looks absolutely spectacular. Yeah, it's set to ultra nightmare quality. That's not fair. Let's go to medium. Especially at 1080p resolution on these mobile chipsets. Anything above that is a lot to ask, even for an older AAA game like Doom Eternal. You can see right now though, I'm getting like 50, 55 FPS. This is very playable. I will say though, coming from a device like the Ally, which is what I'm daily driving right now, the screen is a little small. And it's not just, oh, I'm old and I can't see very well. Like your HUD elements are just kind of tiny. It's sharp though. I mean, 1080p at this size, what is this, like 6 inches? Okay, 6 inches. That's a lot of pixel density. I mean, that's like having a 4K monitor that was only 12 inches diagonally, literally. I turned the speakers off before to get some idea of how loud the cooling system is, and I gotta say, given how long we've had Doom Eternal running, this is pretty impressive, not to mention that the CPU and GPU are both in the 60-degree range right now. That is extremely reasonable, honestly. If I was the one designing the fan profile for this, I'd probably let them run a little bit hotter and just have it be even quieter. Though even this is not necessarily a problem. Let's turn on the volume a little bit. Yeah, they're downward firing, and I've seen some pretty incredible magic done with downward firing speakers, but it does not appear to be present at this time. Okay, let's lose Doom Eternal. This is cool though. Shortcut key. I see. I don't know. I don't know what I've done. Hello, buddy? Hello? No. That's another thing AYANEO is proud of with this device is they support gyroscopic aiming. So that's something that you can actually configure in a wide variety of games with third-party tools. I do need to figure out how to fix the resolution of this display real quick though. Come here, you. That was weird. Oh, the RGB on the joysticks. We found the configuration to be a little rough. ISpace. I really, really liked it in the first couple of iterations, and it feels like there's a lot of things that have almost regressed at this point. There we go, RGB lighting effect. RGB breathe. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of having RGB on these anyway, just because I find it really distracting when I'm gaming. I always turn it off. Whoa, no way, the keyboard is backlit though? Yep. Okay, that's pretty cool. That I care about, because if I'm in the dark trying to type something, I can find my joysticks, right? But if I'm in the dark trying to type something, that's really useful to have. This is nice. Quick toggles, brightness, Ooh, you can change trigger sensitivity. That's really nice. Hall effect triggers, yeah. You can adjust the gyro sensitivity. That's super cool as well. It's just a matter of whether this will come up when you're in game or not. That's the trouble that I've had lately. Wow, you can totally just set up your own profile. Oh, it's doing the thing where the mouse and the controller are both trying to fight for control. This is not good. Let's see Cyberpunk on this thing in mute fan mode. It'll have to ramp up. I just wanna see how quiet it can manage to stay. Oh, dang it, I don't have an FPS counter. I mean, I can tell you guys, it's in the like 35, 40 range. Oh God, the IA thing is in the way now. Oh God, it's controlling everything. Oh God. All right, hey look, did I nail it or what though? FPS 38. Why do I even need an FPS counter? I don't know. We are running in Steam Deck optimized mode with Fidelity FX Super Resolution, but we're running at 1080p, which the Steam Deck wouldn't be. And we're still getting, 1% lows of 29, 33, 35. This is not a very dense area right now. It was a little bit lower before. Pretty darn impressive. And we found that performance was really solid across the board. It makes sense given that this is a Z1 Extreme with good cooling. Did I say good cooling? Because I think I kind of mean great cooling. Now that I put it in silent mode, yeah, they're up at around 70 degrees and the controller is a little bit too hot. I'd say maybe don't operate in that mode unless you're extremely sensitive to noise. But guys, you can barely hear it. That's friggin' awesome. Even battery life is decent. It's got a 46 watt-hour battery, so that's squarely in between the original Steam Deck and the newer Steam Deck OLED, which gave it, okay, under an hour in our stress test, but that's true of realistically any of these gaming handhelds, and a very respectable over 4 hours in our endurance test. So you'd expect, depending on the profile you're running in, depending on your screen brightness, you're gonna be getting anywhere from probably a couple of hours of gaming to in excess of 4 hours or even 5 hours if you're just playing, some sprite-based kind of retro style game and you keep your screen dim. Nice small dead zones on the joysticks though. That's always nice to see. Yeah, really responsive. Of course, nothing we've talked about so far really addresses the main selling point of this device, and that's the keyboard. So, enough Cyberpunk. Let's play some Mavis Beacon. Mavis Beacon, online, let's go. My battery just die? It did warn me, fairness. It's gonna be $6.99 in the Indiegogo for the base spec. That is with the Z1 Extreme equivalent though. And then as you go up in RAM and storage and all of that, the price goes up quite a bit. Now it should be noted, all of our performance testing was at DDR5 at 6400, but the finished device is expected to go a little bit higher with a new BIOS. We just didn't have that available to us at the time of testing. So it might perform a little bit better as well. Hello, buddy, can you? Oh, I guess this is the thing, right? During testing, we encountered a couple of instances where the screen just powered off. This thing's on, but the screen no worky. Hopefully that's another thing that they could sort out in firmware.
Like the lack of a touch screen, AYANEO has let us know that these issues will be resolved in the full production units.
Oh, I guess I realized I didn't even really comment on this mechanism. It's great as long as you don't try to use it one-sided. That's not great. That's fine. That's fine. That is not very fine. Yeah, I don't think we're playing Mavis Beacon. I think we're defeated. Just like you'll be defeated if you don't stay subscribed to ShortCircuit so you always know what's going on.